On demand. Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Get the funds you need now, just in time for back to school with Courts Ready Cash. Plus, if you apply before October 3rd, you will be entered for a chance to win your loan free. That's right, when you take a loan for school expenses from Courts Ready Cash, you could be the lucky winner of up to $10,000 of your loan amount. Also, when you visit us during the month of August, you may receive free gifts like back to school essentials, gift vouchers, Courts Cash, Radio Shack coupons, and much more. Visit your nearest Courts or Ready Cash location or apply online at readyfinancecaribbean.com. Conditions apply. Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Offer ends October 3rd.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene. Amid the rise in gun violence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has appealed to parents of young males as well as those in the wider Vincentian society to take action in the lives of those young males. Prime Minister Gonsalves called on parents to pay closer attention to things such as who their sons associate with, warning that lapses in parenting can lead to dire consequences. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
Everybody is involved in this, to stop it. As a parent, and I'm talking now parents who have young males, this is basically where we're having the problem with young males. If you just leave your male child and let it go and do what they want to do, you don't parent them properly, you're going to end up with a big problem, likely. You have to watch the company your children keep. We have to have the communities peaceful. We have to have local leadership in the communities helping. The churches have to help. A lot of churches want to frighten, well, not churches, a number of pastors really, not the good ones. They want to frighten people to heaven, to tell you how you're going to get burned up in hellfire, but not talking to you in some immediate way to stay away from guns and to see if we can get the young males to be doing useful things. Let them get involved in education and training, sports, fight against crime, drama, cultural activities, singing.
The Prime Minister, while speaking on radio, also appealed to the nation's schools, in particular teachers, urging them not to give up on their young male students. He also called on other institutions to pitch in on the effort to save the youth from lives of crime.
The school teachers can't give up on any single one. We have to find ways. The government itself, the police, the judges, the magistrates, all of us, we have to play our part. The reason why we call ourselves a society is because we must have social solidarity with one another. You can't just be so individualistic, you just lock yourself up in your house and think that what happens outside of your house is not of any business of yours. We have to do things to help to improve our communities, our societies, and our families, in our churches, in our schools, in the governance of the country, in the policing, in the legal system, everything done. Even the criminal defense lawyers, they have a role to play because while everybody who is accused of a crime has the right to a lawyer of his or her choice, the lawyers themselves must use the opportunity to talk to these persons and to listen. This thing ain't going to take you anywhere.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The Prime Minister, in a previous public address, had called on the young males in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to seize the numerous opportunities available to them and not guns, stating that there are no opportunities in guns. The government has increased its support for local fishers by bolstering the existing fleet expansion program. Minister of Agriculture Suboto Caesar said Cabinet has already approved the purchase of an additional 34 boats and 27 engines to prepare local fishers for the huge demand for seafood. Government signed an agreement with Rainforest Seafood to purchase a minimum of $20 million worth of fish annually. However, the minister said this demand for seafood can reach in excess of $45 million annually. In addition, Minister Caesar added that his ministry is responding to a request for a $10 million proposal for further development in the agriculture and fisheries sector. Within the last few days within the ministry, seeking the assistance of external consultants, we were able to draft a framework for the expenditure. I want for the farmers and fishers for you to know that this government will continue to deliver for you, Caesar said. Minister Caesar was speaking in Carroll at the opening of the Georgetown Sans Souci Sea Defense Project on September 9th, 2022. Still on the local scene, the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, the NTRC, launched their 10th annual iCode 784 competition yesterday on Wednesday, September 14th. The competition, according to the NTRC, provides the foundation for innovation by giving participants a forum to create great inspiring ideas that could revolutionize the Vincentian society. Consumer and Public Relations Manager at the NTRC, Ria Lewis, during the launch provided an overview of the competition.
The secondary idea category, secondary mobile application category, and the open category are the three categories of the competition. The competition is open to students enrolled in secondary or tertiary institutions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as non-students under the age of 35. All competition categories are open to students from all secondary schools in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Only the open category of the competition is open to citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines under the age of 35 who do not attend a secondary school. So anyone intending to enter the secondary idea category must come up with an idea for a mobile application. Therefore, the only thing you need for this category is an idea for the app, which will enhance a service or industry within SVG.
The NTRC's Consumer and Public Relations Manager continued the overview of the competition while also making mention of some changes that have been made.
Pertaining to the secondary mobile application category and the open category, participants can use the information in relation to an idea and have an app developed. A working prototype of the mobile application must be prepared for finals once you are selected to advance to the final judging stage. For this year, we have decided to make a small change to secondary categories. So the participants entering the secondary idea category and the secondary mobile app category should base their ideas or applications on one or more of the following topics. And teams may enter as many times as they desire. The topics are good health and well-being, 2, quality education, 3, responsive consumption and production.
That was the Consumer and Public Relations Manager at the NTRC, Ria Lewis. Cash prizes of up to $5,000 and a trip to Barcelona can be won in this year's iCode 784 competition. The registration period for the 2022 iCode 784 competition is now open and will close on Friday, October 7th, 2022 at 4 p.m. Registration can be carried out by visiting the NTRC's website www.ntrc.vc. Registration can also be done on their Facebook and Instagram pages NTRC SVG. On to news in the region. Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley on Wednesday made an impassioned plea for the United States to reverse its decision regarding correspondent banking in the Caribbean, telling U.S. legislators not to allow this to be recorded as unconscious bias. Look at the list of countries who are listed and you will see they are all former colonies and people of color. And look at the countries in spite of being able to open a bank account in hours in Delaware or Wyoming, within hours in Luxembourg or Zurich, and they remain off this list that speak about the risks to money laundering, and look and see where the divide comes, Motley said. Testifying before the United States House of Representatives Committee on Financial Services, Motley, flanked by several Caribbean Community CARICOM prime ministers, said she believes the committee has a keen eye for fairness and equity, and that all that is being asked for is a level playing field. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness has chided persons who have described the new Firearms Act as being oppressive, declaring that poverty is not an excuse for an individual to seek out and use an illegal firearm. Poverty is no excuse for seeking to have and using an illegal firearm, none, said the Jamaican Prime Minister. He continued, "We cannot be ambivalent and duplicitous. If we are serious about treating with violence, and if we really want to reduce murders in our society, then we must put in place the tough measures for those who would seek to traffic, trade, possess, and use illegal firearms in our country." Jamaica's House of Representatives passed the Firearms Act last week, and the Senate is expected to shortly do likewise, paving the way for the legislation to become law. On the international scene, Vladimir Putin has thanked President Xi Jinping for China's quote unquote balanced position on Ukraine in their face-to-face talks in their first face-to-face talks since Russia invaded the country. The Russian leader met his counterpart at a summit in Samarkand, Uzbekistan, where he condemned attempts to create a unipolar world. Mr. Xi said China was willing to work together with Russia as great powers. China hasn't endorsed Russia's invasion but has steadily grown trade and other ties with Moscow since it was launched. The two leaders meeting on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO summit comes at a crucial point in the Ukraine war where Russian troops have lost ground in parts of the country in recent days. During their last meeting in February, when Mr. Putin traveled to Beijing for the Winter Olympics at Mr. Xi's invitation, the two sought to demonstrate their close ties, famously declaring they shared a friendship with no limits. And finally, in sports, Roger Federer, one of the greatest players of all time, will retire from top level tennis after the Laver Cup in London later this month. The 20-time Grand Slam champion has not played since Wimbledon 2021, after which he had a third knee operation. My body's message to me lately has been clear, Swiss Federer, 41, said. I have played more than 1,500 matches over 24 years. Now I must recognize that it is time to end my competitive career. He added, to the game of tennis, I love you and I will never leave you. Federer has struggled with a knee problem for the past 3 years that has restricted him to only 3 of the 11 Grand Slams staged since the start of 2020. He has not played a competitive match since losing to Hubert Hurkacz in the quarterfinals at Wimbledon last summer. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
At Courts Optical, we've got the perfect combination of style and value just for you. Shop from our wide range of stylish frames, and for a limited time, buy one and get a second pair at 80% off. We've got frames as low as $99. Ask about our affordable credit plans from 3 to 24 months. Make your appointment today at courtsoptical.com. Conditions apply. See in store for details. Courts Optical. Value you can see.